Day 7. We were ready for another adventure in Kyoto. Today, we're taking the Sagano Scenic Railway, a super popular train ride that we actually booked tickets for a month in advance. First, we took the Sagano line from Kyoto Station to Arashiyama Station. It was a quick 17-minute ride for just 240 yen. From there, it was a short walk to Saga Station, where the scenic railway departs. The Sagano Scenic Railway travels through beautiful countryside between Arashiyama and Kamioka. It's a 25-minute ride. The highlight of this train ride is definitely the Hozugawa River. You get incredible views of the river gorge, with lush green forests and mountains on either side. Imagine how stunning it must be in the fall with all the leaves changing color. And in the spring, you can enjoy the beautiful cherry blossoms. Unfortunately, we went in early spring, so the trees were just starting to bud. We got off at Kamioka Station and took a stroll around to enjoy the countryside. On one side, there were paddy fields, and on the other side, we could see the town. Big mountains in the distance made the view even more beautiful. The valley below was filled with rice paddies, making the scene peaceful and showing the area's farming history. I was amazed by the old-fashioned wooden architecture and elements preserved and kept at the station. There was a cherry blossom tree in full bloom right at the front of the station. The Japanese station guards at Taroko and Kamioka stations were charming and friendly. Tourists were excited to take pictures of the red train as it arrived, but the guards were making sure everyone stayed safe by controlling the crowd. We got off at Arashiyama Station and joined the other tourists heading to the Arashiyama Bamboo Forest. It was raining heavily, and soon our shoes were all wet. But it seemed like nobody minded the rain. Everyone walked together under umbrellas, enjoying the scenery, making memories, and taking pictures of the beautiful moments. The Arashiyama Bamboo Forest, also called the Sagano Bamboo Grove, is an incredible place in Kyoto, Japan. It's nestled at the bottom of the Arashiyama Mountains. The forest is filled with tall bamboo that makes you feel calm and amazed. After visiting the Arashiyama Bamboo Grove, we walked to the train station. Along the way, we enjoyed seeing ladies wearing kimonos, rickshaws, and souvenir shops. We popped into some of the souvenir shops and found the best arts and crafts we've seen in Japan. We headed to the train station. We weren't sure if we were lost, but we didn't really mind because we enjoyed looking at all the old houses, old Japanese architecture, and their pretty gardens and decorations. Eventually, we reached a train station, and there was a stunning white cherry blossom tree in full bloom. My shoes were wet, but I couldn't go back to my hotel to change them. So, I kept going with wet shoes. Here's my advice for you: wear comfortable shoes and bring an extra pair if you're in Japan during spring. It rains a lot, so it's good to have a spare in case your first pair gets wet. We headed back to Kyoto Station for a quick bite to eat and a little rest. We also picked up our tickets for the Kyoto Skyhop bus. It would have been amazing to have a full day to use it, but since we're leaving Kyoto tomorrow, we had to make the most of it. Unfortunately, the bus stops running at 6 p.m., and many temples close around 5 p.m., so we had to be strategic. We decided to visit Kinkaku-ji Temple, the Golden Pavilion, and Heian-jingu Shrine. It was a really nice way to see the city. The Kyoto Skyhop bus is a great option for anyone who wants to see the main sights without a lot of walking. Kinkaku-ji Temple, also known as the Golden Pavilion. This place is incredibly important. It's a significant Zen Buddhist temple and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Adults pay 500 yen to enter, and it was pretty crowded when we got there, but the ticket line moved quickly. The temple grounds are absolutely stunning. We walked along these peaceful paths, surrounded by moss-covered rocks and beautifully trimmed trees. And then, we saw it. The top 2 floors of the temple are completely covered in gold leaf. It was breathtaking. The way the sunlight reflected on the gold in the Kyokokai pond was just incredible. Kinkaku-ji was originally the retirement villa of a powerful shogun. Later, it was transformed into a Zen temple. It's situated right next to this large pond, which adds to its grandeur. We explored the rest of the garden, which features beautiful streams and interesting statues. It was a truly fascinating place to visit. From there, we waited for the next Skyhop bus to take us to our next stop, Heian-jingu Shrine. The bus guide recommended visiting this one first since it closes at 6 p.m. Heian-jingu is a very famous Shinto shrine in Japan. One thing you can easily notice is its big red torii gate, which is one of the biggest in Japan. The shrine area is quite big, with a wide open space made of gravel where you can see the main shrine building. The colors of the shrine, like red and green, are very traditional and eye-catching. After I paid my respects, I went to the shrine's office to get a Goshuin stamp. It's a beautiful stamp written in Japanese calligraphy. To get it, you usually make a small offering, like 300 yen. I had bought a special book for collecting these stamps called Goshuincho from another temple. After that, we waited for the last Skyhop bus to take us to Kyoto Station from the stop near Heian-jingu Shrine. While waiting for the bus, we were fascinated by the traditional Japanese-style shops nearby, their decorations, and how they were set up. We hopped on the last bus. We had a great time seeing the nightlife of Kyoto. We saw buildings lit up, pretty Japanese lights outside shops and restaurants, and especially the dazzling Kyoto Tower. And that's how we wrapped up our long day. Our time in Kyoto felt too short, but we're already looking forward to coming back another time to explore everything this beautiful city has to offer.